Mic stop. Mic. Hello everyone, a very good afternoon and welcome to Plutus IAS. Guys, today we are going to analyze the budget of 2025-26. Okay, that was presented by the Finance Minister on 1st of Feb. So today we are going to do detailed analysis of it. What all is there in the budget? What all are the things that are good for us? Or is there anything that's going to bother us in the upcoming year? Each and everything we are going to analyze today. So let's get started. Here, as you can see, the conventional photo of the Finance Minister with the entire team. Here we have Chief Economic Advisor as well. She is holding the envelope that contains the budget. Okay. Here, the documents related to budget, they were uploaded in the truck and they were carried to the Parliament. Here you can see that Finance Minister went to the President. The approval of President is necessary before presenting the budget in the Parliament. And that's a convention that the President is feasting the Finance Minister with the dahi chini that's regarded as auspicious. Okay. So now jumping directly to the budget and constitutional provisions related to budget. So see, according to Article 266 of the Constitution, parliamentary approval is required to draw money from the Consolidated Fund of India. That means if the money has to be withdrawn from the Consolidated Fund of India, then approval by Parliament is required. Okay. The term budget is not mentioned in the Constitution. If we talk of the Constitution, so this term budget, annual budget, it is not mentioned in the Constitution, right? The Constitution refer it as an annual financial statement. So the budget that we talk of is actually in Constitution written as annual financial statement. The word budget is not used. And why it is there? Why the provision of it is there? The reason being that if government wants to withdraw any fund from the consolidated funds of India, then government has to seek permission from the Parliament. And therefore, government presents this annual financial statement and takes the permission from the Parliament. Okay. Article 112 to 17 in the Constitution deals with the financial matter. Okay. Besides, Article 114.3 of the Constitution stipulates no amount can be withdrawn from the consolidated fund without the enactment of law appropriate bill. So this article further states that government cannot withdraw any fund without the proper law, without the proper financial statement, without the approval from the Parliament. Thereby, this financial statement, which we refer to as budget, is presented before the Parliament. Fine. So that's the history of budget. Now, why budget matters? The budget helps to understand what the government plans to do with essentially the citizens' money given to the government in the form of multiple direct and indirect taxes. Actually, budget is always for the upcoming year. This budget that we are talking of, it is the annual budget for the financial year of 2025-26. Now, financial year of 2025 is going to start from 1st of April. So, April hasn't come yet, right? Therefore, the budget is the document that is talking about the upcoming year, right? The year hasn't started yet. It is about to come. Budget talks about upcoming year. Whereas economic survey, I have made video on economic survey as well. Economic survey talks of the year that has passed. Economic survey is actually the sort of a report card. Okay, it is talking about the financial year that has completed, what all has been done in that financial year, whereas budget is the plan for upcoming year. Fine. Now in budget, government basically tells you about the revenue and expenditure. And revenue, government majorly earns the revenue from the citizens of the country. How? By charging taxes, right? Citizens pay money to the government in the form of both direct and indirect taxes, and government tells you that what are all are the plans of government, what government is going to do with this money that government has collected in the form of taxes. Clear? Information about who the government plan to tax and its spending priorities matters, as it is going to directly impact the lives of citizens. So what is the plan of the government related to the earning that it has done? It is important. Why it is important? Because when government has collected the tax, it is impacting the life of the citizens or not? They are paying taxes out of their earning. It is impacting the life of the people. And secondly, government is spending that money. That is not the government's money. It is not the money of Prime Minister or the Finance Minister. It is the country's money. So what all are the plans? How government is planning to spend the money? All these information is essential and necessary. Okay. So that's why government tells about these things in the budget that government presents. Who is responsible for preparing the budget? So there is a budget division of the Department of the Economic Affairs in the Finance Ministry. So this budget division in the Department of Economic Affairs in the Finance Ministry is responsible for preparing the budget. Okay. Nodal body responsible for preparing the budget. Okay. Now, if we look at just a review that how many budgets have been presented by the finance minister. So if you see, Morarji Desai has presented maximum number of budgets, that is 10. Okay. But here what happened was that sometimes he presented 2 budgets in a single session. So all those things anyway. Chidambaram 9, Pranab Mukherjee 7. And if I include this budget as well, so 1 plus 7, 8 budgets have been presented by Nirmala Sitharaman. Okay. Here, if we talk about the longest budget speech in terms of words, it was 18,650 words in 1991 by Manmohan Singh. And if we talk in terms of hours or duration, so 2.42 hours by Nirmala Sitharaman. Now, how secrecy is ensured for the budget? Ensuring the confidentiality of the budget, particularly in the internet era, involves meticulous efforts, and remarkably, there has been no leak in over 7 decades. So see, today we are living in the era of internet, but budget is a very confidential document. It cannot be leaked. Therefore, secrecy of budget, maintaining the secrecy of budget is a paramount task, and government has been successful in maintaining the secrecy of budget till now. In the past 7 decades, 70 years, never ever budget got leaked. Okay, so that's an achievement of government. From 1951 to 80, the budget was printed at a press on Minto Road. Okay. Subsequently, a government press was established in the basement of the North Block. Okay. After 1980, a government press was established, and in this government press, the budget got printed. Now, what finance minister said? So, Union Finance Minister Sitharaman said, commented her budget speech stating that this budget continues the government's effort to accelerate growth, that this budget is going to continue the efforts of government in accelerating the growth. And this growth of which she was talking, it can be segregated into few points. They are secure inclusive development, private investment, uplift household sentiment, that is focus on the consumption. We have to increase the consumption, and that's what many renowned economists were advising, that now we need to focus or give a push to the consumption so that our economy can thrive. So the same thing finance minister has mentioned in her speech. She's saying that uplift the household sentiment of spending, enhance spending power of India's rising middle class. Also, we need to enhance the spending power of India's middle class. Garib, youth, Annadata and Nari features in finance minister's speech. So these four, Garib, that means below poverty line, youth, Annadata, that is farmers, and women, Nari. These were the four features that were mentioned in the finance minister's speech. Moving on. Sitharaman cites continuing geopolitical headwinds as a reason for a lower global economic growth over the medium term. However, our aspirations for a Viksit Bharat inspires us, and the transformative work we have done in previous terms guides us to march forward resolutely. Yesterday also we saw in the economic survey which I presented before you that in the middle months of 2024-25 our growth it decelerated. That's what the newspapers are also saying, that there is slowdown in India. To which finance minister responded, and she said that the slowdown is due to the geopolitical headwinds. Globally, many disturbing things are going on. Disturbing in the sense that they are not good for the economy. And due to these reasons, the growth of India also got affected. But we are determined, we have to, that's what she said, we have to make a developed country, a developed nation, and a track record which is quite good according to her. According to that, it is inspiring the Indians and the finance minister to move forward and achieve the goal of developed country. Then she said, I am quoting, we see the next 5 years as a unique opportunity to realize Sabka Vikas, stimulating balanced growth of all regions. Then she said that the upcoming 5 years are actually a opportunity. It is actually an opportunity for development of everyone, each and every individual, each and every region in India. Okay. What does Viksit Bharat encompass? Nirmala Sitharaman says in her budget speech, answering the question what Viksit Bharat encompasses, Sitharaman said, now when finance minister is talking of Viksit Bharat, so obviously a question arises that what do you mean by Viksit Bharat? What is your definition of Viksit Bharat? So she defined in her speech that what actually she means by Viksit Bharat. According to her, Viksit Bharat would have zero poverty, no poverty, 100% quality good school education, access to high quality, affordable and comprehensive health care, 100% skilled labor with meaningful employment, 70% women in economic activities, farmers making India the food basket of the world. So all these points combined together make a Viksit Bharat according to finance minister. To realize the goal of Viksit Bharat, this budget focuses on transformative reforms across 6 domains. These are, and to achieve this Viksit Bharat state, the budget includes 6 domains. The work which has to be carried on in the 6 domains is mentioned in the budget. What all are these domains? Number 1, taxation. Second, power sector. Third, urban development. Fourth, mining. Fifth, financial sector. And sixth, regulatory reforms. Fine. Moving on. Mrs. Sitaraman moves on to stating the proposed development measures in the budget. She proposed certain measures in the budget. These span 10 broad areas focusing on Garib, youth, Annadata and Nari. All these development measures that she has proposed in the budget, these measures are focused on the 4 points that I earlier mentioned: Garib, youth, Annadata and Nari. And what these areas are, what these things are, let's see. Number 1, the 10 areas are spurring agricultural growth, to make the agricultural growth high. Second, building rural prosperity and resilience. In the rural areas, in the village areas, the things have to be prosperous and the economy there should be resilient. The economy should not be disturbed by any externality. Taking everyone together on an inclusive growth path. Everyone should be the path of this growth process. Growth process should not be confined to any one or two or few individuals, okay, or few business houses. Rather, everyone should be the party of this growth. Boosting manufacturing. Manufacturing sector needs a boost. Supporting MSMEs. Enabling employment-led development. The development should give employment opportunities as well. Okay, so this is the agenda of the government, that it has to give the model of employment-led growth. Investing in people, economy and innovation. Investing in people means providing proper education to them, taking care of their health, giving them certain skills so that they can get employment, they can earn their livelihood. Okay. Securing energy supplies, promoting exports and nurturing innovation. And that's what we will see in the budget also. Allocation has been done for the research purposes. See, India is a developing country, and in developing country there is a intrinsic problem, and what that problem is, that our research and development area is weak. So now government is laying emphasis on research and development, it is laying emphasis on innovation. Now, first point is spurring agricultural growth and building rural prosperity. So related to it, what all has been done, see. So first is Prime Minister Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana, developing agri-district program. So this one is scheme that is called Prime Minister Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana, and this scheme is in the direction of spurring agricultural growth. It covers 100 districts and likely to help 1.7 crore farmers. This scheme is going to cover 100 districts and it is going to help 1.7 crore farmers. Then enhanced credit through Kisan Credit Card. The Kisan Credit Card which was provided to the farmers, now the credit of that credit card will be enhanced. Facilitate short-term loans for 7.7 crore farmers, fishermen and dairy farmers with enhanced loan of 5 lakh. Now this Kisan Credit Card, it was actually helping 7.7 crore farmers, fishermen, dairy farmers. Now the loan that could be availed from these credit cards, its limit has been increased by 5 lakh. Okay, and it is obviously a short-term loan. In short-term, farmers do need loan, maybe for your urea, maybe for the seeds, whatever, the short-term loan. And for that, farmers should not rely on the money lenders. Rather, they would be provided, and they are having the Kisan credit card, and they can secure short-term loan with the help of this Kisan credit card. Mission for cotton productivity. 5-year mission to facilitate improvements in productivity and sustainability of cotton farming. So government is laying emphasis on cotton farming as well. Government has made the plan of 5 years so that the production and sustainability of cotton can be enhanced. Next is national mission on high yielding seeds. High yielding seeds, the seeds that give you more output, that produce more, the produce is more. Targeted development and propagation of seeds with high yield, pest resistance and climate resilience. Then Makhana board in Bihar. See, Makhana, I hope you all know what Makhana is, and Makhana is mostly grown in Bihar. Okay, and Makhana is very nutritious, very light. It can be a source of earning, high earning for Bihar. It can benefit this state, Bihar, and particularly the farmers of Bihar. So for that, government has planned to set up a board called Makhana board to be set up to improve production, processing, value addition and marketing in Bihar. Okay. Then Atmanirbharta in pulses. So government is, see, if we talk about generally pulses, so India is the largest producer of pulses, but we are the largest consumers of pulses as well. Due to that, despite of the large production, India is still imports pulses from abroad. The reason being to satiate the demand. But now the mission of government is to become Atmanirbhar, self-reliant in pulses. That means we should not import pulses, we should grow that much pulses which we need to consume. Okay. So launch a 6-year mission with a special focus on Tur, Urad and Masoor, emphasizing development and commercial availability of climate resilient seeds. So government is going to launch a 6-year mission and is going to lay special focus on Tur, Urad and Masoor. Okay, and for that, what government is going to do? Government is going to develop the commercial availability and climate resilient seeds. Enhancing protein content. Obviously, the pulses are going to be good for protein, and what government is planning? It is planning to enhance the protein content of these pulses. Increasing productivity, increase the productivity of pulses, improving post-harvest storage and management, assuring remunerative prices for the farmers. One more thing government is planning to do, that after the pulses are produced, so government is planning to store these pulses, increase the storage for the pulses, so that there should not be any price hike in the pulses due to the shortage of it or due to the demand of it. So that's what all government is planning to do to maintain the stock of it. India Post as a catalyst for the rural economy. Rural community hub, co-location, institutional account services, DBT, cash out and EMIs pickup, credit services to micro enterprises, insurance and assisted digital services. See, what government is planning, what government is thinking, government is planning to give more credit services to micro enterprises, provide insurances to them and give them digital services, so that the problem that they face or the hindrance that they face in the operations, that can be mitigated. Next is supporting MSME and furthering Make in India. Further, government plans to extend more support to MSME sector, that is micro, small and medium scale industries, and for that government is going to take certain steps. Let's see what these steps are. Credit cards for micro enterprises. So the micro enterprises will be provided with the credit cards, customized credit cards with a 2.5 lakh limit for micro enterprises registered in this Udyan portal in the year 10 lakh such cards will be issued. So what government is planning, just like government gave Kisan credit card, in the same fashion, government is planning to give credit cards to the micro scale enterprises. Why? Because these micro scale enterprises, they also need loan. There can be shortage of fund, short term loans they need. So this credit card will have the limit of 2.5 lakh and 10 lakh such credit cards will be provided. A scheme for first time entrepreneurs. For 5 lakh first time entrepreneurs, including women, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, a new scheme to be launched to provide term loans up to 2 crores during the next 5 years. So, for the new entrepreneurs who are going to launch their business first time, for them also government has made a certain plan. Government is going to provide them with the term loan of 2 crores and 5 lakh such first time entrepreneurs will be benefited, and these entrepreneurs will include women, SC, ST. Okay. Manufacturing mission with the mandate to focus on ease and cost of doing business. So government is now on the mission mode as far as manufacturing is concerned, and the first prime agenda of it is that government is looking at ease and cost of doing business. Government wants to lower the cost of doing business and wants to make doing business an easy thing. Future ready workforce for in-demand job. Government wants to prepare a workforce for a job that is in demand. A vibrant and dynamic MSME sector. MSME sector should be dynamic, ever developing. Okay. Availability of technology. Technology should be available for MSME sector. Quality products. MSME would be supported by the government to produce quality products. Government, another step that government is going to take, it is to focus on the green. These MSME, let me simplify it, these MSME should manufacture in such a way that the manufacturing is environment friendly. It should not cause much harm to the environment. Now, measures for labor intensive services. Product scheme for footwear and leather. Focus product scheme for footwear and leather sector scheme is expected to facilitate employment for 22 lakh, generate turnover of 4 lakh crores and export over 1.1 lakh crore. So now government is going to focus on the leather products, basically shoes and all, and for that government is going to do what? And when government is going to adopt such steps, it is going to give employment to 22 lakh persons. It is going to generate the turnover of 4 lakh crores, and it is going to give us the export of 1.1 lakh crores. Measures for this was for leather sector. Then measures for toy sector, to focus on the development of skills and manufacturing ecosystem that will create high quality, unique, innovative and sustainable toys to represent the Made in India brand. Government is also going to focus on this, on the manufacturing of toys. Okay, and this is going to increase the skills and it is also going to provide the employment. Clear? Support for food processing. Establishment of National Institute of Food Technology in Bihar. Enhanced income for the farmers and skilling entrepreneurs and employment. So government is going to set up an institute of food technology in Bihar that is going to do what? That is going to enhance the income for farmers and it is going to provide skills, required skills to the entrepreneurs. Moving on. Revision in classification criteria of MSME. See, depending on the revenue, depending on the total turnover, MSMEs were classified into micro, small, medium scale enterprises. Now this criteria has been revised. So currently, if the investment is of 1 CR, everything is in CR, then the enterprise was called as micro enterprise. This has been now revised to 2.5 CR. So if any enterprise has invested 2.5 CR, then it will be classified in micro. Okay, and if we talk about turnover, so currently if the turnover is 5 CR, then we used to call the enterprise as micro enterprise. This has been increased to 10 CR. A small enterprise, current is that if the investment is of 10 CR, it has been changed to 25 CR. That means if you have invested 25 CR, then you will come under a small enterprise and your turnover should be from, it was initially 50 CR, now it will be 100 CR. Got my point? And for medium enterprise, currently if the investment is of 50 CR, it was called as medium enterprise. Now, if the investment will be of 125 CR, then it will be referred as medium enterprise, and the turnover which was initially 250 CR, it is now being raised to 500 CR. So the criteria for the classification of micro, small and medium industries has also been rectified. Next is investing in people, economy and innovation. Okay. So Saksham, Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0, this scheme will be launched by the government. Anganwadi schools which are there in the rural areas. So second version of it will also be launched. Second, expansion of capacity in IITs. Now number of seats in IITs will be increased. Daycare cancer centers in all district hospitals. Now there will be daycare centers in all district hospitals for cancer. Bharatiya Bhashan Pustak scheme provide digital form Indian language books for school and higher education. So under this scheme, government is going to provide books in all languages for higher education. 5 national centers of excellence for skilling to be set up with global expertise, okay, so and partnerships. So 5 centers, national centers for excellence for skilling to upgrade the skills will be set up, and they will have the environment, a global environment they will have, and they will develop these skills. Atal Tinkering Labs, 50,000 labs to be set up in the government schools in next 5 years. So in order to promote innovation, in order to promote critical thinking, in order to promote scientific thinking, government is going to set up 50,000 such labs in the school in the government school in next 5 years. Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence for Education, and for that 500 crores has been allotted. So now government wants to set up Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence for Education. Government wants to promote the education of artificial intelligence, which I discussed with you yesterday, which the economic survey said that it is a big threat for jobs. So government wants us, and what's the agenda of government? Government wants to make AI a tool for labor, a tool that will increase the productivity of the labor. That's what the government thinks. Government does not want AI to be the replacement for the jobs, rather a tool to increase the productivity. Okay, so for that education is required of AI, and for that purpose only government is going to set up Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence. Okay, broadband connectivity to be provided to all government veterinary schools and primary health center in rural areas. So the veterinary centers, the primary schools, the healthcare centers, they should have broadband connectivity. Today is the era of internet. Okay, so that's what government is going to do. Expansion of medical education. 10,000 medical seats will be establishing 10,000 additional seats will be incorporated, okay, in the next 5 years, and then it will be enhanced to 75,000. Next, investing in people, economy and innovation. So, support to states for infrastructure with an outlay of rupees 1.5 lakh crore, 50-year interest-free loan to states for capital expenditure and incentives for reforms. So now government is going to give the loan of 1.5 lakh crores to different states like Gujarat, UP, Bihar, etc., and union territories for 50 years. And this loan that government is going to provide, it will be interest-free loan. Why government is going to provide this loan? Government is going to provide this loan so that states can increase or state can upgrade their infrastructure so that they can do capital expenditure. Jal Jeevan Mission, to achieve 100% coverage, the mission extended till 2028 with an enhanced total outlay. So Jal Jeevan Mission, what's that mission? We all know that drinking water should come from the tap. That's what Jal Jeevan Mission is. Everyone should have the access to pure drinking water. So this mission is extended till 2028 and for that also funds were allotted. Power sector reforms. Incentivize distribution reforms and augmentation of intra-state transmission, additional borrowing of 0.5% of GSDP to states, okay, to encourage these reforms. So, intra-state power between two states, the power transfer should be there, and for that, these states can take additional loans from the center. Asset monetization plan 2025-30 loans to plug back capital of rupees 10 lakh crore in the new projects. So, the capital of rupees 10 lakh crore to be invested in the new projects. For that, government has launched Asset Monetization Plan 2025-30. Urban Challenge Fund, rupees 1 lakh crore to implement the proposals for cities and growth hubs. Government has allotted 1 lakh crore fund for enhancing the growth hubs, creative development of cities and sanitization. For this purpose, government has allotted 1 lakh crore. Maritime Development Fund with a corpus of 25,000 crore for long-term financing with up to 49% contribution by the government. To develop maritime, government has allotted the fund of 25,000 and it is a long-term financing fund, and 49% of it, the loan that will be taken, 49% of it will be paid back by the government. Nuclear energy mission for Viksit Bharat. Amendments to the Atomic Energy Act and the Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act will be taken up for the active partnership with the private sector. See guys, initially there was an agreement with the America. India and America entered into a nuclear agreement, but the thing was, there was one clause that was disturbing the entire agreement. What that clause was? The thing was that India was saying that if any, we are going to take the nuclear equipments and all from America, but if anything undesired happens, then that company, American company, America, would be held responsible for it. And America was refusing. It was saying, no, that won't be the case. So that's why this proposal, this agreement got stuck. But now America has given the clearance that okay, we will be responsible, and now due to that, India is now focusing on nuclear energy. UDAN, regional connectivity to 120 new destinations and carry 4 crore passengers in the next 10 years. So, new connectivity will be given to 120 new destinations will be there. Okay, till now, these places do not have air connectivity. These 122 locations, now they would have air connectivity, and in next 10 years they would be able to take passengers in next 10 years. 4 crore passengers will be able to get benefit of this new connectivity. future needs of Bihar, greenified airports, financial support for the Western Koshi Canal ERM project. So these things would be done for Bihar. Swami Fund 2, rupees 15,000 crore for expenditure completion of 1 lakh dwelling units through blended finance. Now, tourism for employment-led growth. Top 50 tourist destination sites to be developed in partnership with the states. Center is going to develop 50 new tourist sites and state is going to be the partner in it. Introducing streamlined e-visa facilities. So for tourism, what government is going to do? It is going to provide visa online as well. Intensive skill development programs for our youth. Skill development programs in the sector of tourism for youth so that they can make it their job, they can turn it into employment. Performance linked incentives to states, and states which are going to perform good in promoting tourism, they will be awarded with the incentives based on their performance. Mudra loans for home stays. Now see, in tourist destination, what is happening now, that people, if they have got a spare room, so what they do is they have turned it into home stay, because many people, they do not want to stay in the hotel, so rather they do the home stay because it is a home like environment, they get home cooked food, all these things. So for that, government is also promoting this. Government is going to give mudra loans for it so that people can turn their houses into home stay. Ease of travel and connectivity to tourist destinations. There should be proper connectivity. Every mode of transport should be available, whether by road or by railways or by air. Proper connectivity should be maintained. Next, PM Research Fellowship, to provide 10,000 fellowships for technological research in IITs and ISC. Government wants innovation. Government is trying to develop R&D in India. For that, what government is going to do? It is going to provide 10,000 fellowship for technological and research in IITs and ISC. Research, development and innovation, allocating rupees 20,000 crores to implement private sector driven research, development and innovation initiative. 20,000 crore funds will be given by the government for implementing private sector driven research. This was for IIT and ISC. If private sector also wants to do research, for that also government is going to allocate 20,000 crore fund. Gene bank for crops. The second gene bank with 10 lakh germplasm to be set up for future food and nutritional security. So, in order to improve the quality of the crops that are produced, government did set up a gene bank. Now again, government is going to do it. National Geospatial Mission, to develop foundational geospatial infrastructure and data using PM Gati Shakti facilitation of modernization. So, government is going to develop a foundational geospatial infrastructure for data of land records, urban planning and design of infrastructure project, which will contain data related to land records, urban planning and design of infrastructure project. Gyan Bharatam Mission, documentation and conservation of our manuscripts heritage to cover more than 1 crore manuscripts. So the manuscripts which are here with us, the old manuscripts, thousands of years old, government is going to documentize it, it is also going to digitalize it, and 1 crore such manuscripts will be preserved under it. Moving on. Promoting exports, one more agenda, the 10-point agenda that we discussed when we started the discussion. So now talking of exports. Export promotion mission with sectoral and ministerial targets to facilitate easy access to export credit, cross-border factoring support and support to MSME. So Government wants to promote export with under export promotion mission. For this, what government is going to do? Government is going to set sectoral and ministerial targets so that it can facilitate export, so that government can give export credit. It can help in cross-border factoring and also support MSME to tackle non-tariff measures in overseas markets, so that these measures of non-tariff can be tackled. Bharat Trade Net, a digital public infrastructure. Bharat Trade Net (BTN) for international trade will be set up as a unified platform for trade documentation and financing solutions. So, government is also going to set up Bharat Trade Net, and it will be a digital infrastructure for international trade. Okay. And it will be a unified platform for trade documentation and financing. Everything can be done here. Support for the integration with global supply chain. National framework for GCC as guidance to state for promoting global capability centers in emerging two-tier cities. So global capability centers will be established in two-tier cities. Warehousing facilities for air cargo to facilitate upgradation of infrastructure and warehousing for air cargo, including high value perishable horticulture produce. Okay, for all these warehousing will be provided anyway. Moving on, reforms as the fuel. Financial sector reforms and development. Grameen credit score framework to serve the credit needs of the SHG members and people in rural areas. So Grameen credit score will be there. It will help in financing the people of the rural areas. NABFID to set up partial credit enhancement facility. Partial credit can be enhanced for corporate bonds for infrastructure. That means corporate bonds will also be launched for infrastructure. Revamped central KYC registry to be rolled out in 2025. Rationalization of requirements and procedures for speedy approval of company mergers. FDI limit for the insurance sector will be raised from 74% to 100%. 100% is now the limit of FDI in insurance. Tax reforms, changes in direct taxes and proposal to introduce new income tax bill. The income tax scheme that we are following, this bill is from 1961. 64-year bill we are still following. So now government wants to launch a new income tax bill. That's what the finance minister said in her speech. And in this budget session only, in a week, this new bill will be launched. When this will be launched, we will discuss about it. Okay. Regulatory reforms, light touch regulatory framework based on principles and trust to unleash productivity and employment. So regulatory reforms, they will be loosened, okay, so that productivity and employment can be enhanced. High level committee for regulatory reforms. For this, government is going to set up a high level committee. It is going to look into all these regulations. Investment friendliness index of state. There will be a settlement, there will be an establishment of investment friendliness index. FSDC mechanism to evaluate impact of current financial regulations and subsidiary instructions, along with a framework to enhance their responsiveness and development of the financial sector. So an FSDC mechanism will be followed under this to loosen regulatory reforms. All these steps will be taken, and it is going to look into the responsiveness and development of the financial sector. Jan Vishwas Bill 2.0 to decriminalize more than 100 provisions in various laws. So the laws related to taxes, that if you are not paying the taxes, laws related to finance. All these laws were criminal initially. Criminal laws were there that you can be jailed for it. So, and initially also, previously also, government has removed so many such or decriminalized so many such laws where you were to have got a sentence in jail. Government has removed those reforms, and just now a penalty that if you default on it, a penalty or such thing can be there. Government is planning to remove 100 more such laws. Okay, decriminalize 100 such laws. Then indirect tax proposals. Rationalization of custom tariff structure for industrial goods. See guys, indirect taxes are of two types, direct and indirect. Indirect taxes, if you talk of direct taxes, you have income tax, you have got your corporate tax, okay, you have got property tax. All these are major direct taxes. But indirect taxes, just like your customs, okay, your GST. So in GST, government cannot do anything because there is a separate council called GST Council. Finance Minister is part of it, and all other states are also the part of this GST Council. So GST Council decides about GST. Okay, so not government finance minister is not talking about GST, rather she is talking about your customs. Okay, she is talking about customs. So for this, removal of 0.7 tariff rates, 0.7 tariff rates will be removed. Apply not more than one cess for surcharge. If there is surcharge, initially many cesses were applied, now there would be only one. Apply equivalent cess to maintain effective duty incidence on most item and lower cesses on certain item. Then sector specific proposals were also given. For Make in India, exemption to open cell for LED, LCD, TV. So exemptions in taxes are given for the promotion or manufacturing of LED, LCD. Promotion of MRO, exemption for 10 years for goods. Exemption of 10 years is given on these goods. So all these reforms are there which are going to shape the indirect taxes, or which are going to remove or lessen the burden of indirect taxes. Then improved access to life-saving medicines. Initially, huge taxes were levied on life-saving medicines as well. Now government has taken certain steps regarding that. Addition of 36 life-saving drugs, medicines in exempted list. 36 life-saving drugs are removed from taxes, that you do not require to pay taxes if you are purchasing these medicines. 6 medicines in 5% duty list. Further, 6 more such medicines are now under 5% duty, that only 5% tax has to be paid on it. 37 medicines and 13 new patient assistance programs in exempt list. 37 other medicines and 13 new patient assistance program are also under exempt list. Medicines for rare diseases, cancer, severe chronic diseases and all. Okay. Personal income tax reforms with a special focus on middle class. Now this is something that you might be looking for, that what all has been done in case of income tax. So see guys, initially what was the scenario in the last budget? What government said was that till 7 lakh you do not need to pay any tax. If you are in earning till 7 lakh annually, you are not required to pay any tax. Okay, but if you are earning more than 7 lakh, let's say you are earning 9 lakh, 10 lakh, 12 lakh, then what happens was, then you are liable to pay tax. And then it won't be the case that till 7 lakh the money of, then it won't be the case that till 7 lakh you will get exemption and you will be required to pay tax on 5 lakh. No. That's not the case. That's not how the things work. So understand, initially what was the scenario? That initially, what was the scenario? That if you are earning till 7 lakh, then the tax on you will be 0. You are exempted from it. But let's say if you are earning 12 lakh, Okay, and this is all per annum basis, right guys? So it doesn't mean that if you are earning 12 lakh, then 7 lakh will be exempted and you are liable to pay tax on only 5 lakh. No, 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 no. What will happen now? Out of 12 lakh, if we segregate this 12 lakh, so understand here, till 4 lakh. So 4 lakh out of your 12 lakh, here the tax will be 0. Okay. Now we are left with 8 lakh. So from 4 lakh to 8 lakh, the tax will be 5%. Okay. So from 4 lakh to 8 lakh, the tax will be 5%. How much will be 5%? That is 40,000. First 4 lakh is exempted. Now 4 to 8 lakh, you have to pay 5% tax. That is 40,000. And you are earning 12 lakh. So from 8 to 12 lakh, the 10%. Okay. So from 8 to 12 lakh, you are going to pay 10%. So you are earning 12 lakh. Remaining 4 to 4 lakh ka 10%. Oh, sorry, it was 5%. Na? Yeah. From 4 to 8 lakh, the 5% of your earning, that is for 4 lakh, 5%, that was 20,000. And from 8 to 12, that is 10%. It becomes 10% of 4 lakh is 40,000. So in all, you were required to give 60,000 of tax if you are earning 12 lakh. This was your tax liability. Did you understand? Because what I said, till 7 lakh, no tax, but if you are earning 12 lakh. So now, entire regime would be applied on you. So for first 4 lakh of your earning, 0% tax. Then from 4 lakh to 8 lakh, that is 4 lakh rupees. For that, you were liable to pay 5%, that is 20,000. And then from 8 lakh to 12 lakh, that is another 4 lakh rupees, you have to pay 10%, that is 40,000. So total tax liability initially would have been 60,000 following the older scheme. Okay. But now what government has done, government is saying that till 12 lakh, and there is additional also of 75. Let's forget about that for now. Till 12 lakh, you have to pay 0 tax. So if your earning is up to 12 lakh, initially you were paying 60,000 for it as tax. Now you won't pay anything. 0, nothing, null. And if you take excess also, so it becomes 12.75 lakh to be precise. Okay, 0 tax. I'll make a separate video on this, that how actually it works, but I just gave you a brief presentation that what's new here. Fine. Okay. I'll make a separate video regarding taxes as well. So that's the tax slab 3265 and all these things. Fine. Now see. So that's what is done now. Rationalization of TDS, TCS tax deducted at source for easing difficulties. Tax deduction limit for senior citizens is doubled from 50,000 to 1 lakh. Okay. The annual limit of rupees 2.40 lakh for TDS on rent has been increased to 6 lakh. Initially on rent, the TDS was 2.4 lakh. Now it is 6 lakh. Encouraging voluntary compliance. Extension of time limit to file updated returns from the current limit of 2 years to 4 years. So government is giving extension for compliance as well. Now the limit has been updated from 2 to 4 years. Reducing compliance burden. Now government is again trying to reduce the compliance burden. Reduced compliance for small charitable trust institutions by increasing their period of registration from 5 years to 10 years. Now the registration period has been increased or doubled to 10 years. Taxpayers to be allowed to claim the annual value of self-occupied properties. Previously it was 1, now it is 2. Taxpayers can claim the annual value of their 2 properties now without any conditions. Previously conditions were attached. Okay. Now that's all related to taxes. Now coming to one more important and interesting portion, especially for the UPSC aspirants, that from where government is giving the budget, it is allotting the funds, but from where, according to government, according to government, from where the money would come, from where the revenue would be generated, what will be the different sources of it. So let's look at it. Just a minute, let me drink some water. So see, the major portion, the major chunk of government's income is from borrowing and other liabilities. Government borrows the fund, it sells its properties, government companies and all. 24% of the income is going to come from here. Then another chunk is income tax. 22% of the total money would come from income tax. Okay. Then 18% is going to come from GST and other taxes. 17% is going to come from corporation tax or corporate tax, which is again a direct tax and is levied on the companies. Okay. Then 9% from non-tax receipts, that is fees, challans, all these things, tender fees that government charges. Then 5% from excise duties, union excise duties, okay, for production, government takes this duty, and 4% from customs, okay, 1% from non-debt capital receipts, okay, without debt, the capital receipts, okay. So that was the revenue. Now where money goes? So see, initially this is a change. Initially, the most of the money went in paying the interest. If you look at the last year's budget as well, so most of the money went for the payment of interest. But this year the things are a bit different. Payment of interest is now holding the second position. The first is states. 22% is state share of taxes and duties. That means 22% of its earning government is going to give to the state. Okay. Then 20% is going for interest payment, the loans that government had taken, interest payment of it. Okay. Then 16% is going for central sector scheme. Okay. Central sectoral schemes, the schemes that are launched by government, okay, for their development, for the implementation, 16% of the fund will go. Then 8% for central sponsored schemes. That means in central sponsored scheme, government and state both are party, both spend money together, so 8% will go into this. Then pensions 4%, that is revenue expenditure. Other expenditure 8%. Finance commission, which is there to remove the horizontal and vertical differences between the state and government, 8% of the fund is going for that. Then for giving major subsidies 6%, and for defense again 8% will be used. Okay, so that's where what the expenditure will be. Now if we talk about receipts, so receipts are of two types. One is revenue receipt, one is capital receipt. I hope you know it. If you don't know, I'm giving you just a brief idea. So revenue receipts, these are short term. Short term means for the period of 1 year, not more than 1 year. So short term earnings. Okay. If you want, you can write here as well that earnings. Short term earnings. Okay. Receipt is earning. Receipt means earning for government. Fine. Then they are recurring in nature, repetitive. These earnings are going to repeat themselves. Okay. And third aspect of it is that it is not going to increase the liability, neither it increases the liability of the government, no, and it does not reduce the assets. So all these are the properties of revenue receipts. If these three things are there, then it is revenue receipt. So revenue receipt basically means taxes, direct as well as indirect taxes. Okay, basically. Okay. It also includes fees, challans, all these things. Okay. Why? Because these are earnings. See, taxes government is going to get every year, recurring. Short term 1 year, fees challans government gets every time. It is government has not borrowed this money, so it is not going to increase the liability of government. Government is not selling anything, any of its property or asset to acquire this money, so it is not going to reduce the asset of the government. So all these things come under revenue receipt. So as you can see, revenue receipt for the year 23-24 was 27.3. In the 24-25, it estimated was 31.3, but actual realization was 30.9. Now for the year 25-26, government is estimating it to be, and what is this? What figures? When I said 27.3 lakh crores, 31.3 lakh crores, 30.9 lakh crores. So this year the estimate of government is, because as I told you, budget is estimated, it is for upcoming year, it is not actual realization. This year the estimation is 34.2 lakh crore government is expecting to collect as revenue receipt. Now capital receipts, there are again certain points related to capital receipts. These are long term, that means for more than 1 year. Second, these are non-recurring, won't repeat itself, and they are going to reduce assets and increase liability. So what is the meaning of capital receipt? If government is doing disinvestment, that is government is selling its properties, assets, government is selling public sector undertakings, government is selling its shares in the companies, what all this is reducing asset of government, it comes under capital receipt. If God that, and it's called disinvestment, this act of selling its share or company is called disinvestment. If government is borrowing money, taking loan, it is increasing the liability, it also comes under capital receipt. So ideal process is that revenue receipt should increase and capital receipts should decrease. Okay. So in the 2024, in the year 2023-24, government's capital receipts were 17.1 lakh crore. In the year 2024-25, it was expected that government will get 16.9 lakh crore from capital receipt. Government actually realized 16.3 lakh crores from capital receipt. And as I told you, it was there in the economic survey also that government is following fiscal discipline. So here you can see that in the year 2025-26, government is expecting 16.4 lakh from capital receipt. Government does not want to increase its loan. Now if I talk about expenditure, again expenditure is of two types, capital expenditure. So that is again long term. Okay, it is long term expenditure, that means for more than 1 year. It increases the growth. Growth is increased by this, infrastructure grows, economy grows here. So capital expenditure is regarded good for the economy. If government is doing more of capital expenditure, it will be taken as a positive sign because it will result in the building of infrastructure, it will result in the building of logistics, it will result in the growth of the entire economy. So capital expenditure is always good. So now here comparison is there. Figures are in lakh crores. In the year 2023-24, 12.5 lakh crore rupees was the capital expenditure. In the year 2024-25, it was increased by 11% and it became 15 lakh crore rupees, but that was estimated, but actual realization 13.2 lakh crore till now. And this year government has further increased it to 15.5 lakh crore. So that's a good sign that capital expenditure is increasing. Revenue expenditure, again it is recurring and short term, and it is regarded as bad. Why? Because it is such an expenditure that is done to carry on day-to-day activities. That means salaries are given here. In capital expenditure, government will build roads, government will build flyovers, it will build hospitals, schools, such things that will grow the economy, that will create employment, all such things will be done. Revenue expenditure is not like that. Revenue expenditure, government will pay taxes. Sorry. I said taxes. Government will pay salaries. Government will pay bills. All these are necessary for day-to-day operations. They are necessary, but it is not going to lead to growth. That's why any economy should reduce its revenue expenditure, it should increase the capital expenditure. Okay, so now see, but what we observe is dissatisfactory in the year 2023-24. The revenue expenditure was 34.9 lakh crore. In the year 24-25, it became 37.1 lakh crore. That was estimated, but actual was 37 lakh crore. But again, it has risen to 39.4 lakh crore, and that is a worrisome thing. Government has to look into it, because the agenda is to reduce the revenue expenditure. Okay. Now, if we talk about deficit trends, basically looking at fiscal deficit, what is and that's what all the foreign nations and everyone looks at an economy for analyzing it. Fiscal deficit means total earning of the government minus total spending of the government. So, if the total spending is more than the total earning, that is said to be fiscal deficit. Okay, and in developing countries, mostly we are in fiscal deficit. Same is the case in India. So here, fiscal deficit and all the deficits are mentioned as percentage of GDP. So in the year 2021-22, fiscal deficit was 6.7% of GDP. This year, it is 4.4% of GDP. That means decline in the fiscal deficit, and that is a good step, or that is a good thing. Similarly, revenue deficit, which was 4.4% in 2021-22, now it is 1.5% of GDP. That is also good. Okay, effective revenue deficit has also declined. Primary deficit has also declined. So there is declination in all of this. Deficit is reducing as the percentage of GDP. Okay. Then, trend in net receipt of the center. So this brown color bar that you can see, it is talking about net center's tax revenue. Pink color is non-tax revenue, and this string that you are observing, it is non-debt capital receipt, RHS, and the amount is in lakh crores. Okay, so you can see non-net center's tax revenue in 25-26, it has increased to 28.4 lakh crores. Okay, you can see there is a rise in it. That's what government is trying to tell you. And non-debt capital receipt has also increased. See, here it was, then it declined, now it is again high. Okay, so you can see 0.8 lakh crores. Fine. And there is a bit of increase in non-tax revenue as well, that is 5.8 lakh crores. Total transfers to states and UTs, this is also on the rise, and that is also good. Government is allotting more and more funds, or transferring more and more funds to state and union territories. In 2021-22, it was 17.6 lakh crore, 22-23, 18.65 crore, 23-24, 20.65 lakh crore, in 24-25, 22.76 lakh crore, and now in 25-26, we expect 25.60 lakh crores. There's increase there as well. Now, if we talk about expenditure in the major items, so the prime is defense, okay, then rural development, then home affairs, agriculture and allied activities, education, health is less, it should be increased, urban development, IT and telecom, energy, commerce and industry, social welfare, and scientific department. Okay, so that's what we had to discuss today. So that's all in the budget. Thank you for your attention, for your time. I'll see you soon with the new video related to taxes, and we will make one more video when government is going to launch the new tax bill. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.